Dear parents, on behalf of the senior school principals, Mr. Greg and Ibu Elizabeth, and the middle years program coordinators, Mrs. Esther and I, and all the MYP teachers and staff, we want to warmly welcome you to this new academic year. This year presents many new, unique, and exciting opportunities for learning and growth for our students, your children, and we look forward to and pray God's blessing on the partnership that we have as home and school. Today we will introduce you to some of the leaders in the MYP who will share a little bit about their specific area. But first I want to share just a brief overview of the Nyp Framework and how we implement it here at SPH. The IB has created a program model for the MYP, which is similar to the PYP and DP, with threads that run through each of the programs, which tie them together, but also with distinct differences related to the age levels that they are intended for. As you can tell, the program is much more than just the subject courses. It was created to be a holistic framework, and at SPH we seek to enhance this with the integration of our faith into all aspects of the model. I will break down the different components of this model, but first want to show you where the MYP falls. At SPH, we run MYP for grades 7 to 10, and then students progress into the diploma program for their last 2 years. At the center of the MYP model is the student, what is called the learner profile. These are 10 attributes that the IB has identified to be important, and as a school, we seek to model and teach these to our students. The next layer in the MYP model focuses on developing skills and attitudes so that our students are equipped with the necessary tools to be successful in the diploma program, university, and to be prepared to be a part of a global society. In the younger grades especially, we emphasize building skills so that as the level of content increases, the students are able to take that content and decipher it, analyze it, and apply it to real-life situations. This is the breakdown of the 5 clusters of skills that are called approaches to learning. In each unit, teachers are explicitly teaching selected skills, and students are given opportunities to practice and develop these skills. The next layer of the model includes service as action and the personal project. Service as action takes place in each year of the program, where students take part in a service opportunity. We often combine it with our mission service learning. The personal project is required of all of our grade 10 students. It takes place outside of the regular courses, and it gives students a great opportunity to delve deep into a topic of their choice. It's an extended length project, which runs for about 7 months, and it culminates in the exhibition where students are able to display their projects, all of their hard work, and explain their learning journey to the community. Next is the subject groups. The MYP includes 8 subject groups. They are language acquisition, language and literature, individuals and societies, which we call humanities, sciences, mathematics, arts, which we break down into performing and visual, physical and health education, and design, which is broken down into food, digital, and product. In addition to these 8 subjects, all of our students also take biblical studies classes, and at certain levels are able to take Korean or Mandarin. The last layer on the outside of the MYP model is international mindedness, and this is something which comes somewhat naturally to a school like ours, with students and teachers who come from a variety of international backgrounds, but it is still something that we want to draw out in the way that we educate our students. A key element of the MYP, which also happens to be a topic that draws many questions, is assessment. At SPH, we use 2 types of assessment, formative and summative. Formative assessment occurs frequently and gives students and teachers an idea of where they are in their learning and can be used as a diagnostic tool. Whereas summative assessment typically happens at the end of a unit and is used for reporting. We have purposely color-coded the assessments so they're easier to identify and manage back. Summative assessments will always be in orange, and formative assessments will be in blue. So hopefully this helps you as you sit down with your son or daughter and try to help them plan it out to be able to look for those two colors. Each subject group in the MYP has 4 criterion, A, B, C, and D, which are used to assess learning. All the criterion are weighted the same, so one is not worth any more than the others. And you can see the general descriptions here of each of these criterion for the different subject groups. Breaking down a criterion further, you can see here an example of an IB-issued rubric, which contains individual strands or objectives, which must be assessed at least 2 times in a year. Once the strands have been assessed, then the teacher is able to come up with a final grade for that particular criterion. It's important to note that the highest score a student can achieve on an individual assessment is an 8. However, for final grades, the highest score that they can achieve is a 7. Here are a few important dates that you may want to note. These dates are the end of terms, and then also when report cards will be issued. Before hearing from some of the other MYP leaders, I just want to give you a snapshot of our subject lead teachers. These individuals help to guide their respective department. So if you have any questions related to a subject-specific area, they will be able to help you. Thank you.
Hello parents, welcome to the new school year. My name is Rene Sompi. I am the Biblical Foundation Coordinator of SPH-LV. The study of the Bible is foundational to all learning at SPH. It is the core of SPH vision and mission as a Christian school. Foundational means that we can only begin to learn all the other subjects when we first understand that there is a God and He creates everything. The whole creation is the object of learning at SPH, whether it is science or mathematics, language or arts, PE or music, design or cooking, you name it. We can only gain true knowledge of all those subjects if we first know the Creator God and His purpose. And we can know God only because He has revealed Himself to us through His written word, the Bible. In the biblical study subject, the Bible is our textbook. And the study of this book will lead us into life, a life that is found in the person of Jesus Christ, a life that is eternal. And in our classes, we try to deal with the big questions that a young student would ask. And the way the Bible answers those questions is by telling us a story. A story that explains the way things are, how they have come to be so, and what they will ultimately be. The middle school biblical program begins in grade 7 with the story of creation. And then later, and in the story of new creation in grade 10, when we study the book of Revelation. And in between, the story of human rebellion and God's redemption. The story of human sins and God's salvation. The story of disobedience and God's amazing grace. So we invite you we invite you and your children to dive into the story of God this year. We invite you and your children to read the Bible with us and find our story in a big story of God's love. Thank you very much.
Hi parents, my name is Bruce Comrie. I'm the Physical Education Coordinator here at SPH. Alongside me there is Mr. Eric Fry, our Sports Coordinator, and together we coordinate the great and active Physical Education and Sports Program at SPH. I just want to start with talking something about something that's a really important issue that your kids are dealing with right now already. That is something called screen fatigue. Hopefully you're not dealing with it quite yet, as we've just started this presentation, but it is a very real thing. And one of the best antidotes to screen fatigue is obviously, well, getting off a screen, but then doing something. And physical activity is probably the best thing to do, especially getting outside, getting out of the house, getting physically active. So we ask you as parents to please partner with us in this venture as we go through not just this home learning time, but throughout the year. We need your partnership. As we encourage your kids to get active, you also need to encourage them, because that physical activity lifestyle really starts at home, and it is something that is an intentional choice that a family needs to make, basically, that you are going to be active. So let's just talk a little bit about PE and home learning 2.0. That's where we're at right now. We're a week in, and before this began, we weren't exactly looking forward to it. PE is not really a thing that should be done in front of a computer screen. However, as we worked on different ideas and we just talked as a team of PE teachers, we came up with a number of ideas of ways to make it better. And some of those things, the ways to make it better, really depend on the equipment that kids have access to. And so we ask you to please provide some of these bits of simple equipment: tennis balls, volleyball, exercise mat, and skipping rope at home. It will just allow us to do a whole lot more variety of activities. We can't really start it until everyone has them. You'll be receiving a letter on this shortly. Also, some recommended activities. Right now, I've got some wireless Bluetooth earbuds, and those just allow me to move in and out, away from my laptop, away from the camera, away from the mic, and still be able to hear and interact with everything that's going on. And so we ask that kids have that as well. Our facilities, our outdoor facilities, are available for use. Just ask you to please use proper COVID protocols in that. The fitness room, not open yet, but hopefully we'll be able to open that later, and that is also available to parents as well through key card access. So in terms of our curriculum, so physical education classes, these are 3 periods per week. We have a broad-based program. It is a bit more limited now through this home learning period. But it is 3 periods a week. We're trying to get your kids active in all 3 of those periods, but we're also going to be doing some more theoretical sessions in the first half of the period, but getting them active in the second. That's our intention. Special application days, this is in red because we're just not sure what's going to happen with those yet, but please stay tuned. They're a really important part of our school culture. After school sports and Pelita Harapan club activities, and these are, again, coming soon. We have them. Encourage your kids to be a part of them. It's really important that they do become actively involved. Being actively involved in physical activity and sports, that kind of thing, doesn't just keep them healthy, physically healthy, also mentally healthy, especially during this time. As COVID draws on, our mental health is probably even more important than our physical health. It's stressful. We're limited in what we can do. Our whole paradigm shift is changed. And so, again, the best antidote to stress really is just getting out, getting up, getting moving. And so there's improved brain function. There's teamwork, improved communication skills, conflict resolution skills, resilience. That's that ability to bounce back after adversity. Discipline, self-confidence, character development, fun and enjoyment. There's lots of benefits to being involved in sports and physical activity. And you don't get those benefits if you don't participate. So really encourage your kids to participate. So what can you do? Be intentional, be purposeful about finding activities, make it part of your lifestyle. Go on holidays together, active holidays, later, not yet. Okay, that's coming. Keep that in the back of your mind. Limit your screen time, limit your kids' screen time. They need some time sometimes to play some video games. That's okay, but limit it. Keep it down and get them out and active, okay? Active and outdoor play. Use our facilities, again, responsibly during this time, and sign your kids up for Pelita Harapan club activities and our after-school sports program. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate being able to partner with you in this way. And we just ask God's blessing on you as you continue to guide your kids through this home learning session and through the rest of the school year. God bless.
Hello, I'm Mr. Brock, the Pastoral Care Coordinator here in Senior School. Just wanted to take a few moments to share with you a little bit about our department. When we think of school, we often think of students taking classes and getting grades. And while this is definitely the case, students are a bit more complex than this. Within our department, we recognize that students have emotional needs, social needs, also behavioral needs. Of course, there are physical needs as well, which our PE department takes care of. Here we can see the overall structure of the Pastoral Care Department. On the left, you can notice that each of our counselors has a particular focus in their job. For most students, they will work with the academic counselors, Ibu Catherine and Ibu Monica. We have students that just generally struggle with how to study, how to prepare for class, or maybe they even have a problem with a particular teacher. This is where the academic counselors come in. Now, Ibu Yuli is our part-time personal counselor who began with us just a couple years ago. We've recognized that many students really struggle with both social and emotional needs, and this is where Ibu Yuli comes in. Now, for you as parents, if you're struggling with how to relate to your child or maybe need some additional support yourself, you're definitely welcome to contact Ibu Yuli as well. Now, in career counseling, we have Ibu Angeline and Ibu Vivi. Their focus is primarily on grades 9 to 12. However, for grades 7 to 8, if you do have questions, you're welcome to contact them too. Their primary role is to help students consider their future after high school. Where am I going to go to college? What job should I do? That's the role of Ibu Angeline and Ibu Vivi. Finally, we have Ibu Hastine in learning support, who as a teacher provides very specialized support for students. In order to have learning support at our school, there are some specific requirements. So if you're interested in this kind of support, you can talk to us more about those. On the right, we just have a quick overview of the year level leaders who you'll meet later. In grade 7, we have Mrs. Rebecca. In grade 8, we have Mr. Sidney. In grade 9, we have Mr. David. And in grade 10, we have Pat Recchi. The role of the year level is to kind of be an overall kind of pastoral and shepherding figure for the grade level. They're kind of the front line of defense for any kind of issues that might pop up within the grade level or with your students as well. For you as a parent, you're definitely encouraged to contact them if you have any questions about your grade level, and they're glad to help. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. We are happy to see you parents and to be with you today. We are the grade 7 homeroom team. And together we are going to take a few minutes just to say hello and introduce ourselves. Today I read in Psalms where it says, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. And other versions say that our children are gifts. And so we are here to help take care of your gifts, knowing that you are the first teacher and we are the teachers to support you. So we want to, first of all, my name is Rebecca Metcalf, and I am coordinating the team this year, and I'm working in partnership as a homeroom teacher for 7-1. And a little bit about myself is I teach biblical studies for grade 7 and grade 8 this year, along with academic English support for grade 7 and grade 8. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to go ahead now and pass this over to my homeroom partner, Pat Airy.
Hello parents, let me introduce myself, and my full name is Eri Nugroho, and I ask my students to call me Pa Eri, and I'm here teaching math for all grade 7 and 8-1 and 8-2. Also, I'm partnering with Miss Rebecca in homeroom for 7-1. Okay, so and a little bit about myself, I'm Indonesian. I'm from Central Java, from this small town called Jepara, if you've heard about that town. And yeah, I'm really excited to be part of SPH this year, teaching all MYP students and helping them to transition to their MYP program and later DP maybe. And I'm excited to do that, and I'm looking forward to teaching all students and having them in my math class. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pat Airy. Now we're going to move over to the 7-2 homeroom teachers. So Ibu Yuyun, please.
Hello parents, my name is Ibu Yuyun. In the email list, my email is ionita.mulyawan, so that's my full name, my real name, but my students call me Ibu Yuyun. I teach, sorry, I've been teaching, sorry. I teach Bahasa Indonesia for language B for grade 7 through 10. I also teach DP Indonesian Studies grade 11, 12, as well as a CAS class. This year, I'm partnering with the most amazing partner, which is Mr. Joel in 7-2. So happy to be partnering with him, and I'm also excited to experience this year together with our homeroom, our grade 7s, just growing together. And no matter what, we are going to make it. We're gonna try our best to give our students the most amazing learning experience, even though this is a pandemic time, but we should not be fearful of it. But we're gonna do this together with the work of parents, teachers, and students. So I'm excited to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Yuyun. And let's pass it over to her partner, Mr. Joel.
Hello, parents. It's nice to see you. I'm Joel, and I've been here at SPH for 6 years. This will be my 7th year teaching visual art here. So I have a family with 4 kids, and we've loved living here and teaching here. Getting to know so many friends and colleagues here, including Ibu Yuyun, my homeroom partner. This is our 2nd time working together, and it's been fun, and I look forward to working with her again this year. I'm also teaching all grade 7 visual art, as well as grade 10 visual art, and this year grade 12 visual art. So I love teaching all of those ages for different reasons. So this year I look forward to teaching grade 7 again, and I look forward to having your kids in my class. I really love this age group because of their enthusiasm, their energy, their love for life and learning, and it's just been a wonderful experience for me to teach this age group. So I look forward to this year with your students, with my students, your kids, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joel. So now let's move over to our homeroom 7-3. And Ibu Mini, will you start us off, please?
Hello, parent. Nah, this is very a good opportunity to introduce ourselves as Group 17. Ms. Rebecca already mentioned about that. I'm teaching Language A for grade 7 this year. Yes, maybe Bahasa. That's difficult, even though that mother tongue for them, but have difficult. But I believe if we do it together, if we have a good communication, we can do it, even though we have many challenges in in this year because we start in home learning. But remember, together we'll be better. Okay, and oh yeah, I forgot, I'm partner this year with Miss Katie. This is the second year partner with Miss Katie. And we already know each other. We already know the weakness and the strengths. And so, together, we can do it for 7th students. Okay.
All right, thank you, Ibu Mini. And with that, Miss Katie, please finish us off today.
Hello, parents. It is good to be able to communicate with you today. I hope your day is going well and that it's been a good first week of school, even amidst all the changes. My name is Katie Stover. I'm originally from the United States, the West Coast. And as Ibu Mini and Mrs. Rebecca have stated, I'm part of the 7-3 homeroom team, which has been amazing. This year, I'm teaching 2 sections of grade 7 humanities, all of the grade 8 humanities, and 1 section of grade 9. And it's all things I've taught since I first came to SPH, and I love it. I love the topic. I love the energy that the grade 7 and 8 bring to it. And also, just so that you're encouraged, I've been really impressed by the Zoom sessions I've had with your students during this week. They've been on time. If they haven't been able to make it, they've been very proactive in emailing me about it. So we're getting off to a very good start in a lot of ways, even if occasionally a Zoom link doesn't work or there's a miscommunication. Your students are doing so well already, and I'm very impressed. Thank you for shepherding them and counseling them during this time.
Thank you, Miss Katie. So we meet together as a team every Thursday. We talk, we share, we pray for your children, and we are a unified team in that desire to support you as the #1 teacher. I am also a parent. I have 2 children that are grown, and one is a teacher and one is studying to be a teacher, and then 2 grandchildren as well. So please know our hearts that we are here for you, and we are happy whenever you reach out to us, to email us, and let us know anything we can do to support what you're doing with your children. We are excited that your children are home with you right now, that you're getting to build those bonds tighter and better than ever, and we're just coming alongside you at this time. So please know that, and we're excited for this new year ahead. So from all of us, we want to say welcome, and we want to say thank you, and want to let you know that we are excited for a year of teamwork together. All right, take care. Thank you.
Welcome to grade 8 this year. We are very excited to teach your children this year. And in grade 8, we have 3 homerooms, and we have 3 CPRs who act as a bridge between parents and teachers. In 8-1, the CPR is Ibu Catherine. In 8-2, the CPR is Ibu Agustina. She's also the grade 8 PAG. And in 8-3, the CPR is Ibu Pipe. For 8-1, the homeroom teachers are Ibu Ivana and me, Mr. Sydney. 8-2 is Mrs. Grace and Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis is new to SPH, is currently still in America, but he will be joining us as soon as he's able to travel to Indonesia. In 8-3, there is Park Barto and Miss Rachel. We also have Ibu Catherine, who is the counselor who takes grade 8, and Ibu Hastin, who is the learning support teacher. Grade 8 is a very exciting year for your students. It's also a very challenging year because their bodies are changing physically, and your students go through emotional changes, and it's really a difficult time for teenagers and preteens. So as your homeroom teachers, our role is to serve your students, to make sure that everything else that's going on in their lives doesn't negatively impact their experience at SPH. And so we act as a guide for their emotional development, their spiritual development, and we help them navigate very challenging things like identity issues, relationships, and so many other things. In grade 8, we have very many interesting things that we learn, and I'm going to hand over to the homeroom teachers to share some of the fancy things, the very interesting things your students are going to learn this year. We'll begin with Miss Grace.
Hi guys, hi parents. For the visual arts unit, one of the exciting units in grade 8 is the batik unit. Your child will have the opportunity to design and create a batik hopefully in our batik studio, where they will experience using wax and the Indonesian tools such as chanting. So it's a very exciting unit for both students and parents. Thank you.
Then we'll move on to Pak Barto.
Hi parents, my name is Barto and I'm teaching science in grade 8. 2 sections out of 3 this year. And one of the exciting activity that we're going to do this year is forensic science, which basically means applying scientific methods and processes to solve crimes. And we can solve some of the crimes through the use of scientific evidence, such as eyewitness testimony, fingerprints, footprints, fiber, and chromatography and such. So the kids are gonna love this so much because they have a huge curiosity as to how to catch a bad guy by using these scientific evidences.
All right, thank you, Pak Bacho. We'll now move on to Miss Rachel.
Hello, I'm Miss Rachel. I teach grade 8 English. And every year in term 2, we read this awesome book called The Outsiders. And it's a book about family and identity and finding your relationship and finding who you are when the world tries to tell you who you are and finding actually out like who you actually are. It's always a good time and it leads to great conversations within the classroom. We always culminate this with our Outsiders Day, where the kids all in grade 8 and the grade 8 teachers dressed up like the characters in the Outsiders book. And we play games and the kids are having so much fun. They don't even know they're learning. And we just have a really great time. And I also teach grade 7 and every year the grade 7s are like, why are the 8th graders all dressed up? And I'm like, oh, that's for Outsiders Day. And they always get really jealous. So this year I was really excited to tell my 8th graders, this is the year we get to do Outsiders Day. And they were very excited.
And last but not least, Ibu Ivana.
Okay. Hi parents, my name is Ibu Ivana. I'm one of the Bahasa teachers for your kids. So basically I will explaining about Bahasa Indonesia. For our Bahasa, we divide the Bahasa into 2 classes, which is Bahasa Indonesia A and Bahasa Indonesia B. For Bahasa Indonesia A, usually they will learn more about the literature. And the fun part for them are usually for the term 4, they will make their own drama. They will write down their own script and then they will direct their friends and they will act together as a group. And also for the Bahasa B, we divide into 6 phases. So it depends on their Bahasa ability. So every time they accomplish a phase, they will move to the next level until phase 6. And after they reach the phase 6, the next year they will move to Bahasa A. So basically for Bahasa B, they will learn more about the language itself. Okay, I think that's all for Bahasa.
Great. Thank you, Ibu Ivana, and thank you to all of the homeroom teachers. I'm Sydney Muganzi, and I'm the year level lead this year. Once again, welcome to grade 8, 2020-2021, and we look forward to seeing you in person whenever on-campus learning resumes. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is David Summers, and I am the grade 9 year level lead teacher. I will be introducing you to grade 9. First of all, we would like to introduce you to our homeroom teachers for this year. Our homeroom teachers for 9-1 are Mr. Patrick and Miss Karas. Mr. Patrick teaches drama, English, TOK, and helps with the chapel band. Miss Karas teaches food design, and this year will also be teaching a biblical studies class. Our 9-2 homeroom teachers are Miss Ulam and Miss Christina. Miss Ulam teaches humanities, and Miss Christina teaches math and Mandarin. The homeroom teachers for 9-3 are myself, Mr. David, and Ibu Leah. I teach ICT and science, and I'm also the grade 9 U-level lead teacher, and Ibu Leah teaches Bahasa Indonesia and Indonesian studies, as well as helps with CAS in the DP program. Our theme for this year is Made to Thrive, and we as homeroom teachers want your children to thrive even in this time of home learning, and we want to work together with you as parents. One of the tools that we use is ManageBack. Many of you have logged into ManageBack as a parent, and the students will be using ManageBack every day. They can see their timetables, they can see when assessments are on the calendar, and holidays and other events, and we will try to monitor and make sure that the assessments are spread out and not overwhelming for the students. The students can also add personal items to their calendar and different reminders on ManageBack. Here you can see an overview of the teachers by subject area. For English, the duties are split between Miss Rachel and Miss Yeun. In Bahasa, there are many different teachers depending upon the level of the students. 9-3 will be taught by Ibu Leah. In science, there are 3 teachers, Mr. Sidney, Pak Barto, and myself, Mr. David. For humanities, it's split between Mr. Don, Miss Yulim, and Miss Katie. In math, we have Miss Christina teaching 9-1 and 9-2, and Mr. Davis teaching 9-3. For PE, Mr. Bruce, Pak Reki, and Mr. Eric will be handling your students. Biblical Studies is split between Mrs. Beck and Mr. Koa this year. In Design Tech this year, the students will get a choice between woodworking, culinary class, and ICT class. I teach the ICT class, Mr. Dan Admiral teaches the woodworking class, and Ms. Karas teaches the culinary class. If the students didn't get their first choice this year, we will try to give them their first choice next year in grade 10. The arts are taught by Mr. Joel, Mrs. Grace, Ibu Regina for visual arts. Drama is taught by Mr. Patrick, and then the music department has many different teachers for ensembles as well as classroom music. Mandarin this year is taught by Mr. Liu, and Korean is taught by Mr. Kong. Here are some interesting activities the students will be doing this year in grade 9. One of the opportunities they have will be to join Mathletes. Mathletes participate in different competitions related to math, and part of that is the Waterloo Math Competition. In science, we will be studying in our biology unit reproduction, and the students will be writing an essay on in vitro fertilization. In biblical studies, they will participate in an activity called Espaha's Next Top Model when they do their unit on purity. Here you can see some information on lines of communication. If you have any general issues related to grade 9 or have any questions, you can contact the school TEU office, or you can contact me as the year-level lead teacher. For issues related to homeroom, you're welcome to contact the homeroom teachers directly, or again, myself, the year-level lead teacher. For issues related to subjects, you can contact the individual subject teacher, or again, you can contact me and I can put you in touch with the subject teacher. If it's an emergency, you're welcome to contact the counselor, Ibu Monica, or to contact myself as the year-level lead teacher. And if you can't get in touch with us, you're also welcome to contact the principals, Ibu Elizabeth and Mr. Greg. Thank you for partnering with us and letting us teach your child this year.
Hello parents, my name is Reki Randy. Students usually call me Pa Reki. And now I would like to explain a little bit about grade 10 overview. First of all, I would like to start with the team, the homerooms. From 10-1, we have Ibu Tami and Mrs. Esther. From 10-2, myself, Pak Reki, and Ibu Renalyn. From 10-3, it's Miss Yeon and also Mr. Dan. So for any inquiries regarding your children, feel free to email us and we should be able to help any of your inquiry. Some of the grade 10 highlights, for example, in biblical studies, we have Snapshot of My Soul. From MA, we have Culmination Ensemble Concert. From Food Tech, we have Dining Experience Project. From MYP Personal Project, will be a VVIP, very, very important project for all the 10 graders. And here are some pictures from last year's personal project exhibition, as you can see on the screen. Students will try their best to pour out their understanding and knowledge about everything they have learned and try to act and respond to what happened to the needs around the world. And parents, if I can end this with a little bit of encouragement, I would like to read a quote from a psychologist, Penelope Leach, and I quote, "Children do not need superhuman. Children do not need perfect parents. They have always managed with good enough parents, the parents they happen to have. So parents, please, whatever happened, do not feel discouraged. You are perfectly perfect for your children. And I would like to thank you for being there for your children. And there is no such thing as being too late for your children. You can always start now. And again, strive for progress, not perfection. 20 years from now, I don't think any of your children, maybe some, will remember their grades back in their senior school. But for sure, they will remember all the memories and people who are with them when they go through every process throughout their high school or senior school. So parents, be there for your children and remember, we're all in this together. So I pray that we can get through this different season in the best possible way. With God's help, everything is possible.